Have you ever thought of adding a side snare to your electronic drum setup? You should, and here's why. What's up guys, Justin Grunwald here, welcome to 65 Drums. This is the place to keep on top of all things Edrum related. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet. I'm going to show why adding a side snare to your electronic or hybrid or acoustic setup is a great idea and what kind of sonic possibilities open up when you do that. So it doesn't even have to be a mesh drum head, by the way. These things can be kind of expensive. Not everyone wants to spend $150 or $100 just to buy a mesh snare drum for something they don't know if they'll use for every song they play. So you can actually pick up a rubber drum, like they're not that expensive. You can probably find these on eBay right now for like $30, $40. So you buy one of these and then you go find a snare stand. You can mount it on the snare stand. Or you can add an extra arm that you attach to your drum rack and bam. The coolest thing about having an extra snare pad is the sound combinations that show up. So for example, your main snare might be a piccilo snare, but your side snare might be this really deep sounding snare drum. If you're playing a pattern with kick, snare, hi-hat, you can hit both snares at the same time. The piccolo snare will give you a snap to that sound. The deep side snare will give you this, thud, and they combine beautifully and it has a really interesting sound to it. One thing I've seen acoustic drummers do is get a roll-in pad, use it as a side snare, and then add an EDM dance snare sound to it. Most modern drum modules that are like semi-decent usually have 2 extra inputs. The high-end flagship stuff usually has maybe 4 extra inputs. So as long as you have a decent sound module, you can at least plug in an extra cymbal and an extra snare if you want. Now, if you're wondering, do I need some sort of fancy cable to make all this work? No, actually any cable will work. The only thing is a mono cable, which most guitar cables are mono cables. They'll only give you control over one of the triggers inside of this drum pad. Most drum pads have a head sensor and a rim sensor. So try to get a stereo cable. They're all over Amazon. Now remember, you don't need to go buy some sort of gold-plated, titanium-lined cable because you're not worried about pure sound quality with these cables. You just want something that will give you a relatively clean signal to your drum module. And if you're getting a side snare, just buy a really short one, like maybe a 2-foot-long cable. That way you have enough flexibility to put the side snare wherever you want, but it's not too long that you have cable lying all over the place. And then it has an L-shaped connector for right there, and then a straight connector for the drum module. That's my optimal, best case scenario cable when I'm shopping online. Now I'm gonna play some different examples of using different tone combinations and different sound combinations and just play around with the possibilities that open up with a side snare. Hope you guys enjoy. One of the reasons why I made this video is that there's a lot of guys out there that are kind of tired, a little bored with their setup, and they want to upgrade something, but they don't have $200. So getting an extra side snare is a great, cheap way to do it. Go with a rubber pad, or if you have a little bit more money to spend, go buy one of these roll-in pads, or even like a Go Edrum pad, or whatever drum pad is in your budget. Go pick one up. There's a lot of cool combinations of sound that open up when you have an extra snare pad lying around. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in a few.